This week on Raiders Talk of the Nation, it's the soundtrack of the Silver and Black. From an artist bringing some country grammar to Allegiant.
You know, you put the two and two together and sometimes it can be electric.
To Raiders past.
A thrill inside, and it's what I do. I love doing it.
And present.
It's another avenue for people to see me for who I really am.
We catch up with the men behind the music in this week's episode of Raiders Talk of the Nation. You already know when you hear that sweet sound, it can only mean one thing. The autumn wind is here. I'm Sibley Scholes, and this week on Raiders Talk of the Nation, it's all about the music. What started as a poem written in 1974 has since become the theme song of Raider Nation. Since then, the music themes have evolved with songs like Ice Cube's Raider Nation,
Let's go.
and Raider Colors.
Las Vegas, let me hear you holler.
All of them representing fans from different walks of life, including legendary hip-hop artist Too Short and lifelong fan to the team.
It's your boy Too Short. Come check me out, baby. Raider Nation, make some noise.
I want you to tell the people what is so beautiful and special about this team, about the organization, and how long you've been a fan.
Well, I've been a Raider fan since the early 80s, 1980, probably before that. And I think that the way we saw the Raiders move to LA, move back to Oakland, come to Vegas, and the fans just stay. Like a lot of franchises, that would probably be a problem.
Right.
But not the Raiders. We all bleed silver, and you know it's Raider Nation. It doesn't really. The city is, it's a beautiful home.
It is a beautiful home, but you're saying the city doesn't matter. We're going.
It's Raider Nation.
Always.
That's what it is.
Lead the silver and black. Do you have one game that stand out to you that really is like, oh my goodness gracious, the Raiders are just the team forever and ever? Or is there one memory you have?
Raider games. Let's think. I just have a lot of memories of playoff games in Oakland.
Yeah.
And winning and leaving with that good feeling. So you can't really resist the Raider mystique. It just takes over you and gets inside you. And we love it, man. I've been around a lot, been to a lot of football games, and it's real special.
And now you're here now today. Last year, you were on that stage up there by the torch performing. What was that energy like in this stadium?
It was me and Ice Cube, and it was the home opener, and it was halftime, and it was unannounced, and it was just, the energy was just electric. And after the halftime, I just got so much love from the fans. It was dope.
You're part of a song that's the Raiders Anthem. There's a lot of Raiders anthems out there. Mm-hmm. Are you welcome to do another one? Would you want to do another one? Would you collab with anybody else?
100% definitely going to do another one. We're just going to keep mentioning the Raiders and making songs and doing whatever. And I want to get back in the stadium and perform again. All that stuff. All of it.
Still to come, he's a member of all three of the Raiders Super Bowl winning championship teams. But I talk with Henry Lawrence about his talent off the field. Did you start sweating a little bit?
So my claim to fame is I walked the stage up with Diana Ross.
And later, music superstar Nelly takes over the stadium.
Music can tell the tale, it can tell if you're lying, and then it brings out the truth.
Raiders Talk of the Nation will be right back. Raiders Talk of the Nation has been brought to you by Allegiant Air, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Powered by Cox, a proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. After 13 years as an offensive tackle for the Raiders, Henry Lawrence is one of the best to suit up. But even while making some of the most impressive plays, he found time to use his voice for his passion. Now, more than 30 years after taking the field as a player, he returns as an artist. I got the chance to talk with Henry and find out about his worlds colliding. Okay, Raiders Talk of the Nation, please, everyone give a warm welcome to one of our very own three-time Super Bowl champion with the Raiders, Mr. Henry Lawrence. This is when the cheer happens.
Hello, Raider Nation.
I had the opportunity at Allegiant Stadium to announce you at our alumni celebration this year.
Raider Nation, at this time, please welcome to the Raiders main stage one of your very own alumni, three-time Super Bowl champion, Henry Lawrence.
What was that like being up there?
It's charging. It generates a thrill inside, and of course that's what I do. I love doing it, and doing it for the Raider Nation in front of that whole stadium. The crowd is very gratifying, and the band is like off the charts. They're phenomenal.
So I've heard some of your musical influences growing up come a lot from your family, specifically your mother and your brother. Do you have some of those early memories when you first started singing around the house, and beyond your family, who else kind of influenced your style?
My oldest brother, when I was like 5, 6 years old, he said, I'd be singing. There was this gospel song called Stand By Me. He would sing it. He was a great singer, but he would never sing solo. He sang with the choir. So we're off somewhere singing, but he wouldn't do it solo. And I just started from there. We'd be out in the fields. We were migrant farm workers and be singing. We'd sing the song, the Temptations, you name it. And we sang it. And then my mama, she had this powerful high soprano that would come out real strong to get the choir, the church going. And my younger sister actually does some shows with me. And she can sing some gospel, but she can sing anything.
When you have that in your blood, it seems everyone had that beauty of music and soul just coming out of them. What is it? What brings light to you? What is it about music that just lifts you up?
Well, it fills a void, whether we know it or not. Everyone has some type of void. And for me, music helps to fill part of that void. And the other part of it is, I missed out on opportunities where I could have really gone further and, hesitated. And I tell young people, if you're gonna want to do it, an opportunity come to do it, do it.
You mentioned growing up on the farm, listening to Temptations, singing with your brothers and family. Is there a song that really sticks out to you? And were you guys also doing those dance moves? You had to know the numbers. You had to have that going down.
Well, back then, yeah, I did have a little, swab or whatever you call it.
Some swag. You had some swag going on.
And I remember my first concert. I was 13. I was 8th grade, and actually I didn't go to school that year. For half a year, I worked. And had an opportunity to go over to Rochester at War Memorial and saw Otis Redding. He was like, people were all up on tables dancing and jumping around. And so that was one of the influences. So I do some Otis Redding, I do some Temptations, the OJs, Gladys Knight, the Pips, Teddy Pendergrass. If I like the song, I'll do it. This got Stapleton. I love Tennessee Whiskey.
Yeah.
And Tina McBride, I Hope You Dance. I mean, I like lots of different music. I do country, I do R&B, and I do some little jazz and some blues.
The mesh of worlds of music and sport for you while you were playing for the Raiders, you were still performing, correct? In addition to playing.
I was. I tell you, my teammates, they would say, Killer, when are you performing again? When are you performing again? And some of the guys, they would come. I mean, when I performed, they'd show up because we had some good crowds. We had a lot of guys loved coming to the shows, and I love doing it. And I just, like I said, I believe when you do it good. So whenever I hit the stage, I don't half step with it.
Heavily into music, growing up on the farm, taking influences from those artists and your family. What drew you to football? How did we get to football?
Well, that's weird. When we played growing up, I was younger than most of the kids, but I was a big fella. And we had fields that we could play flag football in. But on campus, the elementary school was next to the high school. And we had this little coach. He was the coach. And he's probably still alive. I think he turned 100. And he would walk around campus with I think a barber's belt, razor belt. And you walk by him and he'd pop you on the butt. He said, I want to see you on that football field. So we got tired of doing that. So my 9th grade year, we were still working in the fields on the season. Out of New York, we were able to come home, me and my brother. He was 2 years older, and we started playing football. We was in the cucumber field one day, and the next day we was on the football field.
Being that you've already gone to the games at the Allegiant Stadium, it's still shiny and brand new for the organization out in Las Vegas. What are your thoughts on it? What did you love about it the most? And how do you feel the future of this organization will look? Well, the future is bright, and we got some good players, and I think the coaches is good too. And Mark, I've known Mark, he has really taken up the mantle. Mm-hmm. And I'm so very proud of him. I think that we have made a mark in history. The Raiders have always done that. Coming up, more with Henry Lawrence.
Someday we'll be together.
And Darren Waller talks about how music has helped manifest his new life.
I like to put stuff out there for them to enjoy, and I hope they enjoy it.
Plus, it's getting hot in here thanks to this Grammy winner.
It symbolizes football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It hands in the mud, so it's all good.
Raiders Talk of the Nation will be right back. This segment has been brought to you by Modelo, a taste that's pure gold. Modelo, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Mr. Lawrence, Henry Lawrence, you've got the accolades, you've got the voice, the talent, everything to back everything up, a stellar career. Do you have any favorite memories currently? I mean, you've sang at the Super Bowl celebrations, Hall of Fame parties, NFL gospel choir. You've seemed to have done it all. Is there one moment throughout those that sticks out to you?
One of my moments that I will always remember is I invited Dionne Warwick to one of my shows. So she came up and we did That's What Friends Are For. And that was one of the greatest moments of my career. She was such a gracious, and she still is. She's one of my, I'd say, heroes or heroine. One of the other highlights is that I'll claim I warmed the stage up for Diana Ross in Canada. They said, we're gonna have a special show. Yeah, so who's it gonna be? And so we can't tell anybody. So after I got through performing, I was inside and I heard these, Diana Ross Supreme songs, and I just thought maybe the band was doing it because they do so good. And somebody said, that's Diana Ross. I said, you gotta be kidding me.
Did you start sweating a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. That's my claim to fame is I warmed the stage up for Diana Ross. But I've opened for quite a few. George Benson, Bobby Womack, Bobby Hump, Daniel, Charlie Daniels, Eddie Money. I've opened for quite a few of the big folks.
Yeah. Well, listen, it is an honor. And that claim to fame is the most beautiful claim to fame that I've heard of. So
someday we'll be together.
Sir Henry Lawrence, you are so greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Las Vegas, make some noise one time.
I want to talk about just seeing you on stage. I mean, the fans go crazy for you no matter what song you get up there and perform. Does it feel great to continue to just keep doing what you love to do?
Yo, definitely. It's a blessing. I mean, anytime 20 years later, any profession, and you still get, applause. That's dope.
Yeah, the love is still there. It's always gonna be there.
Trying to.
Talk about the Raiders for a second. You look good in the silver and black. Is it time to turn over to the dark side? Who's your team? No one's in St. Louis now.
No, we don't have any. You know what? I know so many people, just through the NFL. You just want to see people who succeed and you talking about an organization with the Raiders that's legendary, historic. So, I feel like in WA right now.
Yeah, see? Did you play sports growing up?
Definitely.
Okay, what position were you? What sport was it?
Oh, I played a bunch of them. Football. I played corner. punt return receiver, all that. And then baseball, shortstop, second, center field, basketball. I didn't play no defense in basketball. I never started.
Really?
Nah,
you came off the bench?
Yeah, but I was told by the coach, though. He told me, he said, if you play defense, Haynes, you might start. I said, I'm cool coming off the bench if that's the case.
Oh, that's okay. I think I was like that too. I was like selfish a little bit, a little selfish. What excites you about this sport specifically? I know you said you have friends in the league, but what's the best part about coming to a game?
I mean, you just get to feel the energy. It's genuine. I mean, football, my son played football. I love football, period. Whether I'm watching a JFL game, a high school game, college, you just love the sport.
What goes into a performance before you hit that stage for you? Is there anything special that you do? Again, I know you've been doing this forever, but is there anything?
Well, it just depends. I mean, some are different than others. I mean, obviously it depends on how long you're gonna be up there, what's going on. Something like this, I mean, you just try to come have a good time, and you're just thankful that they opened the house up to you and they wanted you to rock out.
I said Raider Nation, make some noise!
The intersection of music and sports, how important is that for you? And what have you seen it, how have you seen it grow?
All of it is just rhythm. You want timing with everything. All sports deal with timing, basically, and obviously music and everything that we do in entertainment is timing. So, you put the two and two together, and sometimes it can be electric.
We got a guy on our team, Darren Waller, does music. Have you heard any of it? Because I need to get you some. Okay. Would you ever be open to collaborations? Because I think you do such a great job of just collabing, like the country music genres, crossing them all, and it works because it's always you.
Yeah, well, I think as long as it's genuine. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Music can tell the tale. It can tell if you're lying, and then it brings out the truth. So as long as the music's genuine and the vibe is connected, I mean, yeah, you never know who.
I want to talk really quickly about our logo, the Raiders logo. It is legendary, right? You see it across. It's one of the tops, in my opinion. It is. What does it mean to you when you see that?
Again, you just the shield, and obviously it's your legendary owner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all the way back to John and things like that. It's just it symbolizes football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It hands in the mud, so it's all good.
As one of the top players in the NFL, Darren Waller has made a name for himself. But it's his name, D. Wall, that some fans know him best as.
It really hits home, and that's something that, I try to strive for and make sure that that's a constant.
Still to come, a peek into the new music from the tight end. This segment has been brought to you by Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation, made to chill. Raiders Talk of the Nation has been brought to you by Allegiant Air, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, non-stop flights. Book now only at Allegiant.com. Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Raiders. Intermountain Healthcare, the official health partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Discover your inner champ at Raiders.com/champ. For years, Darren Waller has been open about battling adversity on and off the field. His new song is showing a new side to the player who is unfazed.
Well, I think it's important to share my music because I'm pretty vulnerable with my music. Just another avenue for people to see me for who I really am, what I really go through, and my mindset through everything. So I like to put stuff out there for them to enjoy, and I hope they enjoy it. The last few bars of the second verse, especially one where it's like, when I go to sleep, I know I got peace in my mind. That's one that really hits home, and that's something that I try to strive for and make sure that that's a constant in my life, that I just, when I go to bed, I'm at rest, I'm content with my day and how I showed up and how I tried to live that day.
After performing in front of more than 40 million people during his Las Vegas run, no other name is more defining or representative of the city than Wayne Newton. Last season, he took us on a tour of the city that ended at Allegiant Stadium.
Living here, I never take the Strip anywhere. So no matter where I'm headed, I take the back road. So I was like a tourist going down the Strip in this bus. We went all the way to here. So it was really exciting for me.
Now we sit down with the icon after he set foot inside Allegiant for the very first time.
Hi, my name is Wayne Newton, and I'm also known as Mr. Las Vegas. This was my first time inside the building. It was really interesting because I was here for the groundbreaking, and it's magnificent and so befitting this wonderful team. And so I couldn't be more excited.
And to perform the Star-Spangled Banner, Wayne Newton.
Being here today performing for the Raiders is one of the, will go down in my mind as one of the most exciting things that I have ever done. And even though we all have birthdays every year, I quit having them so I could do more things like this, you know. I think if I had to say one thing about the Raiders being here in this wonderful arena and having it be their home base, it is such a compliment to our city because the town, from the time I came here, it had 70,000 people when I was 15 years old, which is what, 5 years now. And now we're a city of about 1.5 million, and having the Raiders here will just add to the numbers of people that come here and are able to leave their problems somewhere else and come here and enjoy what the city has to offer.
Thanks for joining me. I'm Sibley Scholes. I'll see you next time right here on Raiders Talk of the Nation.